Rewind here, make sure everything is good as always. Okay, look good on my end. Okay. Let's see Wagwan. I'm gonna wait for people to file in, start our analysis around 9:15, maybe earlier, depending on when people file in. If people file in, if nobody file in by 9:15, the show continues. Why? How do I take this off? Oh, so I can't remove this, huh? Welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Okay, now that I know how do I remove this? What does this button do? Maybe I could do certain polls. Oh, let's try that. Ooh. I wonder what the market is going to give us today. I wonder if it will give us a nice continuation on the short side. That would be nice. Ooh. Let's draw some pictures. Damn, AirPod died. Now I'm running blind. Me, I run blind. Should be good anyway. That is to get another one. Chicken chubby. Ah. Hmm. What a start though. Like I don't like the fact that it's starting off red. Like I wanted the short for the rest of the day, but hmm. Starting analysis at 9:0. I said 9:0. 9:15. Let's see what. Oh man, I can't wait to go to my bed. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I made, but I made something. Look at the shoes. I made that. In the little time while I was waiting, I made that. And I can make him better too. By darkening the mouth a bit. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Starting our analysis in 15 minutes. Don't miss it. I'm about to get Oh, I can't really rap like that. I'm lying to y'all. If y'all really thought I was about to sit here and freestyle just now, y'all out your mind. Look at the Bulls. Go ahead. Nice push, Bulls. I'm about to get real schizophrenic in here. Especially, especially if I start my analysis and nobody's in here. That would be crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Hmm. That's fire. We're gonna try out some polls some of these days. All right. All right, let me start. Let us start. Starting a little early, but that is okay. This might take us into the market. No, it shouldn't take too long. It's not much stuff to digest. It's nasty on the 5-minute side. Popping another drop, especially to end that 5-minute, would be nasty. Oh gosh, that's mean. Do these lows here 720? That would be nasty. But all right, let's get into our analysis, starting with the news that came out, if any. Not much for real. It's not really much to go over, to digest in terms of the news. Let's see what we have. So as we know, futures are pulling back after a really, really strong arm rally that happened for like weeks, I'd say. And as I've been mentioning throughout the whole week, this entire rally has been boosted by AI and tech. So with that being said, there's also obvious risks with that. If this entire market here seems to be held up by this one bubble, what happens if this bubble pop? And this famous investor named Michael Burry, he had the same observation as well. Only he has a lot of money, and he took a very, very big short position on a lot of tech companies, Palantir being one of them. So that should just show you how many people are pretty much expecting this tech bubble to pop. So I would say overall the bias would be like bearish and just be cautious for the day. Tech, AI, it's still pushing, not gonna lie. It still remains alive, but there is also risk for reversals, trap setups, and now that market hit all-time highs, it's anybody's market now. It's anybody's game. So I would say expect more breakouts, rejection at resistance, and deep pullbacks. And until the bulls show us some strength, our bias would be bearish for the day. All right. With that being said, let's get on to the technicals. On the daily, kind of upset about this move because I wanted this move to happen during the day, like during market open. Pretty much happened in pre-market. So I was expecting the shorts in this, since yesterday closed so strong towards the lows. I was expecting this day to at least try to stay above this level of 754 so we can get the short through these lows here. But that move already happened and I don't like chasing, so that's a problem for me. However, there does seem to be like a center resistance here, so I guess we can draw that out. Starts from back here. We can draw that out to see, just to have an idea. See if that lines up with anything. It's better to be aware than ignorant. On the 4 hour, it's also showing bearishness as we had multiple wicks, and as I always mention, anytime you see wicks, I want to think that the market is trying to find a bottom. And it did for a little bit as price kept trying to push down and buyers kept buying up. But eventually, these past 2 4-hour bars, obviously it broke through this wick level here. All right. So that's also bearishness on that side of things. Let's go down to 30-minute, 1 minute. Let's remove some of these stuff. You guys don't need to be confused by all of this right now. I'll explain the indicators I use probably in a later live. 1 hour also pushing towards this wick level here, which I will definitely mark out. I want to be aware of this level. I'm seeing 3 wicks here, which means price tried to go through this level 3 times and it rejected. I'm also going to mark out this level here. It seems to be important. Yeah, about right there. Then we already have this line marked out by this wick. MACD on the hourly is also red, and momentum is increasing. You can tell by the histogram here. You see this bar increasing, pretty much being higher than the previous one. That shows that momentum is increasing. Let's go to the smaller time frames now. 5 minute and 15 minute. We got a top and wick here on the 5 minute. Let's start with the 15 minute. So on the 15 minute, we are below point of control, which means bears are in control of things as of now. All right. However, we are extended towards the downside. And usually when we are extended towards the downside and extended trading hours during the New York cash session, pretty much the market open, you usually see a little pop. So if we're looking for shorts, I guess we could look for a pop up to this zone here. This would be the first zone that we test around 754. If we break through it, I guess the next level that we would test is 771, so on and so forth. But overall, our setups will be bearish setups until bears show us otherwise. All right, so on the 5 minute side of things, we're seeing multiple wicks at apex points. So seeing a few top and wicks here, which means price try to go a little bit higher, especially after this strong move. Couldn't go higher, so it rejected until it found another point of support, which it did. And this is also a strong support because it previously bounced off the same level not too long ago at like 6:30 in the morning over here. However, seeing all these wicks, all I'm seeing is trap buyers, to be honest, because every time they try to push price higher and it fails, people are still taking positions up here. People are still taking positions up here in this wick level, and this wick level here, and this wick level here too, and over here as well. So since people are taking positions up here and prices below their entry point, we consider them trapped, right? So when they exit, that will be fuel for the short side, right? So that's exactly what we want to watch out for. MACD also looks like it's diverging on the 5 minute, but converging on the 15 minutes. So it's conflicting on these time frames at least, but on the hourly, as I showed you before, the MACD is red, and that is the higher time frame of the three. So we have to go by the higher time frame. Now, I know what y'all thinking. Why are you trading on Friday? I thought you don't trade on Friday. What happened to sitting on your hands on Friday? And y'all see that I made 157 on the day already. I was testing something, all right? That's my excuse. I was testing something. I just wanted to see if this setup worked how I think it was going to work in extended trading hours, and it was just pop in, pop out. I didn't have too much exposure risk. I didn't risk too much. Probably the most I risked was like what, $50, 50, 75 probably. And I got out quickly. You know what I mean? So don't crucify me on that. But to be honest, that's pretty much it in terms of our technical analysis. We have our lines marked out. Now we just have to see. I mean, we could go over delta, but since this is extended trading hours, it's not really necessary because it's not too much volume. You know what I mean? We're gonna wait until 9:30. Let some data come into them. Do you guys say data or data? I don't know. I'm not consistent. Sometimes I say data, sometimes I say data, depending on how I'm feeling. But yeah, we're gonna wait until 9:30. Let some information play itself out. Let the market play the cards. Let's see everybody's hands, and then we'll go from there. But we're definitely not trading in the open, and I don't think you guys should either. That's pretty much gambling. It's usually never a good idea to trade right into the open. Usually. Now, if you have a great position, and I mean great position, like you're up probably like what, 50 to 100 ticks maybe, then okay, you can afford to, you know, hold your position out. But if you're just entering like at 9:30, that's insane, because those 9:30 wicks be crazy. I expect buyers to step up a little bit somewhere here though, especially into the open. If it's just a straight tank through the lows, I would be surprised. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though I have bearish sentiment for the day, I would be extremely surprised. Anybody that's here or new, what are you guys trading today? Or what's y'all sentiment? What y'all looking for? Y'all looking for longs? Y'all looking for shorts? Talk to me. Or if you're new as well, you could feel free to ask questions as well, because I do go through a lot pretty quickly. Y'all watching from work, y'all at y'all trading desk, y'all trading from your phone. I have so many questions for y'all. I want to get to know y'all. Is there something wrong with that? Oh yeah, I can see that from a mile away. Convergence on the MACD as well. So it looks like the bulls couldn't wait. 30 seconds to go on the clock, but if you want to push like that, as I always say, you better hold those levels, or else you're gonna form a nice long top and wick, trapping all those buyers. So go ahead, you can push if you want. Just make sure you can hold that level, which I think you should be able to. We're extended towards the lows. You should get a little pop and hold. I believe you can do it. Oh, oh, am I jinxing you guys? Come on, don't. Oh, come on. Don't let me jinx y'all. Tilt is also 55% towards the long side. That's not a bad close, but that's too much of a top and wick. But if you get over it, you trap those sellers. I'll tell you that. Again, you pushing high in the first 10 seconds. You better continue. You better go. Some minor signal on a 5-minute, and it looks good on the 15-minute where we have this long bottom wick. That's momentum for the buy side, and this is a trigger for a buy as well. After a little extension, you get indecision at the bottom, and then you would pretty much enter at the high of this candle and then get this extent of the move. However, there's resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. So it's pretty much a scalp play, in my opinion. That would have been a nice scalp. Condog says probably not gonna trade today. What about you? To be honest, me and you on the same page. It doesn't make sense to risk it on a Friday, especially on days like Fridays and Mondays. But being that you said that, you probably already know how it goes. You probably had your fair share experience of Friday trading. But those that don't know, usually on Fridays it's a little erratic because there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of excitement. There's people that's profit taking, especially to go to the weekend. You know, I would want to take out my money too, especially if I want to go chill with my family over the weekend. You know, go on vacation. Who knows? Usually you see a lot of selling because of that, but you also see excitement on the other end because you have a lot of people that can't wait to trade on until Monday. So they're going to try to get as much trades as they can on Friday to make up for that. So because of that volatility, because of that two side, I don't really like trading on Friday. But I still like to, you know, watch the charts no matter what. Even if I don't trade every day, I'm still watching charts every day. Am I the only one that, like, let's say like if I'm eating, like let's say I'm just eating food. Instead of like watching like TV, usually I watch anime too. But if I'm not watching one of those, I'm more than likely watching charts. I'm like glued to the screen as if it's like a basketball game. I'm cooked, chat. I might be cooked. All I could think about is stocks, honestly. That's a nice close for the Bulls. 1 minute to open. I guess we could read the order flow to see how like that 9:30 candle looks. Getting a nice push so far though. Above point of control on a 15-minute now. 30 seconds to open. Let's see what type of wick we get. I get a dopamine rush from that. I'm not gonna lie. Seeing that first wick at 9:30, especially if you have the bell on, you hear the dun 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 dun. I used to have that on my Thinkorswim, but that started giving me anxiety after a while. So I was like, yeah, let me take this shit off. Well, let's see what we get. Okay, we get a drop first move. High volume as well. We want to watch 713. That's the low of extended trading hours. Not really the low, but it's a support level. I should have probably marked it on my 1 minute chart because my trading view is separate from my Topstep. We can make it right here. Immediate short is crazy. Y'all shorts couldn't wait to trap them bulls. Oh my goodness, you guys are so ruthless. You guys are so ruthless, bro. Let's look at the order flow. Yikes. 5K of delta right into the open. Negative delta at that. That's showing aggressive sellers. And the fact that we're seeing stacks of negative 1,000. Oh my goodness. That's extreme aggression into the open by the sellers. Extreme aggression. Usually, you probably see like 300, 200, 500 maybe. We're getting heavy. Like, sellers are just stepping up at every level on this candle. Buyers are going to have to work to make that back up. They're going to have a lot of supply. Because into the open, that's just crazy. Let's see if they can do it, though. That's just crazy. Like, we did say the overall sentiment is bearish for the day, but I didn't expect, like, this. Come on, look at this candle, guys. Like, you know how hard the bulls work for this little progress right here? Just for the shorts to just come in at 9:30 and just... Shoo. That's ruthless and mean, and I will not tolerate it. None of us, we're not standing for this. What's the biggest mistake you've made in trading and still kind of make now? To be honest, my biggest mistake that I really struggle with, I would probably say losing. I suck at losing. It's kind of weird because in most thing, like in sports, I used to do track and field, as you guys see. The goal is to win. To lose is like, it's like you're losing a badge of honor in a sense. Like it hurts your ego. So it's like learning how to lose, it kind of felt like counterproductive in a sense. But in trading, if you don't know how to lose, take that loss and walk away and have the confidence that you're going to make it back the next trading day, or if not the next trading day, the following after that, you're never going to make it. You're just going to keep building that loss. You're going to build a bad mentality. Your psyche is going to be cooked, and then you're just pretty much done for. I've worked on it. I'll definitely say it's better than when I first started, but like press it, because it's as y'all know, it's like it's not a loss until you press that sell button, and now you have to sit with that loss. And then as soon as you sit with that loss, you're like, damn, can I really make this back? And even if I do make it back, it's like, damn, that's money I could have made if I didn't take that stupid trade in the first place. And then that negative self-talk, it cooks you even more now. Because now you're pretty much punishing yourself from making mistakes instead of taking it as an opportunity to learn from those mistakes. Y'all get what I mean? Or I'm chatting. I could be chatting. But in my personal experience, that's just how it is. What would y'all say though? What would be y'all biggest mistake in terms of y'all trading experience? Me personally, like losing, I just these shorts though, they didn't come to play. They're still stacking up at the lows. They're stacking up negative 1,000 at the lows. We feel you, Unc. All right. First of all, I am pretty young. Okay, I'm pretty young, so I'm not literally Unc. I'm in terms of trading. Yes, I'm a trading Unc because I just been trading for a little while. But I'm not a real Unc. Bro, you're gonna have people thinking that I'm like 30. Yeah, that top and wick is definitely gonna get shorted through. Yeah, making new lows for sure. Yeah, that was obvious. What that was, it seemed like buyers tried to jump the gun a little bit there, a little bit too early. Definitely caught a falling knife. A lot of trap buyers. I wouldn't say a lot of trap buyers, but there's definitely trap buyers in this wick here. If it could get above it, then 37. All right. You guys are gonna have some respect. Let's have some respect, please. 37 is crazy. 37? Is this what you guys think of me? Is that the type of guy you are? Is this the type of person you are? My goodness. All right, buyers showing a little bit something down here. Not too much, but just a little bit something. 17 seconds to close. Not much legs, but let's see what they do. They like the buyers. If the buyers really want to work up, they have a lot to do. And if you're looking for a short, I would not look for a short at the bottom. Don't be like these people. They're shorting heavy. How much you make a month? I would probably say, I can't even say like that's a consistent number, because like with trading, some days I'm making like what 157 like in a day, like as today. Other days it's 500. Now another day it'll be like 3,000, and then the next day I probably lose like 1,000. You know what I mean? So it's just so inconsistent in that case. My goal is though, because as of now, I only have one express that I've been feeding off of. What I need to do is have at least 5. Not even. I need more than 5. But Topstep only allows 5. That's the problem. That is the issue. But what I'm thinking as well, Apex allows like 20, I think, yeah, about 20 accounts, but their rules, it seems like they limit your upside. When I'm trading, I don't want you to limit how much I can make. Damn, these shorts are just bugging. Yo, 2,000? Do y'all understand what like how to read delta? Because if y'all do, like, y'all will see why this is like insane. It's one thing to get stacked sellers. We're getting stacked aggression, and the average of them is like 1.5k of aggression. What's your bias today? Definitely bearish. I mentioned that earlier. At like 9:15. I every day I like pretty much go through my bias for the day. Not really my personal bias, but I would read the market, read the news that came out, any CPI data, any information that I can get, and then I pretty much spit out a bias for the day, a sentiment, a trader sentiment for the day. And until my views change otherwise, I would just think about setups that can occur with that in mind. So for short setups, I'm not looking for like break through new lows. I'm pretty much looking for a pop and then pretty much short the apex. Like let's say we get a small pop here, back to 713. Usually after extension down, that first pop usually comes back down lower. Now if it makes a higher low, that's a different story. But usually that first pop does get shorted down a little bit. Would you ever consider taking a bull trade today? A bull trade, with all the risk that's in the market so far, it would be really hard for me to feel convinced, but I can see why. I can see why you would take a bull trade, because the market is extended towards the low. And with the rubber band, as I always mention, when you have a rubber band stretched to one side, eventually there's a snapback, which is why I wouldn't take any shorts looking for new lows down here. This is pretty much chasing the move. Like, this is, yeah, if you're shorting anywhere down here and not on a pop or a green candle, at least you're chasing the move, because you're risking that retracement. Even if it's a temporary retracement, you're risking that as well. But in terms of looking for a bull trade, that would be possible, but I would need a trigger on a bigger time frame. And what I mean by a trigger on a bigger time frame is something like this, where I'm getting a hammer after an extension. So you see how we have a hammer here where we have a long bottom wick and a small body. This one is a little bit stronger because we have a stronger green body, but still a major bottom wick off of a support. Something like that is what I would need to see before I get into any bull trades. This is pushing low though, because like I wouldn't want to go against my bias, but like it's eventually just gonna shoot up. But overall, just don't want to risk anything. Sit on your hands, bro. Like if you're the trade that you wanted already like went by, my best advice would be to sit on your hands and just wait. because you're like, in my personal experience, when I miss a move and I'm just like, damn, like, where am I gonna, like, is my next move gonna come again? I pretty much get FOMO from that. And then I just look for any move that looks like it's similar to my move that I originally had. And then that's when I get cooked. So I would advise against forcing any move. And if you are looking for a bull, wait for a clear signal. There's no clear signals right now. What I'm looking at right now is on a smaller time frame. So on a bigger time frame, I'll give you an example right now. Let's say in this hour, in this 18 minutes, you see price start to make a very long bottom wick. Like, let's say price gets back up to, let's say 705, back over that 700 point. Then I'll say, okay, then that next candle, that next hourly that forms, maybe we can see a little pop, because those shorts are, those shorts in the bottom in that wick, they're trapped. And when they sell out, they have to capitulate price a little bit. That's where we get that little bounce from, right? But as of now, I would say just wait it out a bit, only because this move is still fresh. The MACD gap is widening, which shows momentum on the short side is increasing. So I would just hold off a bit. If not, don't trade at all. Like, it wouldn't make sense to risk it, bro. We already know how Fridays get. For the most part, a lot of people are selling on Friday, so they want to take profit into the weekend. So I would say watch the market, bro. Just take in the information, and then you like think of it like this: save your bullets for today, and then next week unload the full clip. Could do that. That's how I see it. Like, if I don't get any trade on days like these, I just look at it as, okay, save my risk so I can have that risk on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't like trading Mondays either, because it's the first day of the week and it's not much information on the weekly for me to know how the rest of the week is going to look. But if there are obvious setups, I will take it. I will not hesitate to take it. But it has to be like obvious, like A+ obvious. Some hesitation on the bottom right here. This is the most hesitation we had so far since market open. Generally, you want to wait 15 minutes till market open before you trade, just so some data can get into the market first. MACD on the 1 minute is also converging. In that 1 15-minute candle, though, there was about 13,000 of negative selling pressure. And the CVD is also below the zero line, which means so far sellers are in control. Now let's go back to the 1 hour. Remember, I was saying, if you can see this form pretty much more of a bottom wick, where we have a greater bottom wick, then okay, maybe you can look for a temporary long in the next 1 hour. But it's a low-hanging fruit in a sense. I'm not really getting that much profit from that move unless you get a full reversal here, which is possible because we do have space. But with the bearish sentiment for the day, it being a Friday, I wouldn't really expect too much from that move. Overall, I would say keep your exposure risk low. Don't be in the market too long. Don't overstay your welcome. %57 long here though, so that means people on Topstep, they're taking their long positions here. I wonder, does it show the average price too? Oh, it does. So most people got in at 6, 7. Oh, don't cook me with that 6, 7 shit. 703. So most people are long over here on Topstep. Price is below their level, so currently they're kind of cooked. But until price gets over, which it's trying to do. But the average long price on Topstep is 703. How are we looking on the 5 minute? 5 minute looks like it has space too. 14 minutes till I already close. Oh, this is a perfect example of what I was looking for. So you see how we got a bottom wick here, and then the candle right after that, you get a quick pop here. This candle just opened 2 minutes, so can't really take too much account into it. But you see how we got the bottom wick in the next candle, that bullish momentum spiked up. That's pretty much what we're looking for to form on the hourly. That's what we're visualizing. So this hourly ends in 13 minutes. So we want to see that bottom wick and then the next candle be green, where we get that first move to the pop. And then hopefully we can take out profit from there. But as I mentioned before, that first move up, it does usually get short, especially after an extended move to the downside. That first pop up usually does get shorted, especially off of moving averages like the 9 EMA, which is the fast one, 20 or so. So this is what we have to watch out for. That's why earlier in the day, I mentioned that we should expect more failed breakout attempts, and this was one of them. Telling you, I gotta tune in. I gotta tune in for the market prep, man. My market prep, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but just saying, I'll have y'all prepared in terms of information. In terms of technical analysis, y'all could probably do your own technical analysis. I can help show y'all like how I do mine, and then y'all build your own like formation from that, like a little template, pretty much. I would love to short that. NQ and ES. So NQ pretty much just has tech, more tech stuff in it, so that's why it moves faster. SPX and ES is pretty much the same thing. They both this S&P 500. ES and SPX. NQ though, yeah, ES and NQ are futures. NQ are for crackheads. That's all. I'm gonna just say it. I say it every stream. I probably said it in my past 4 streams. If you trade NQ, you're a crackhead. You're just not like officially or like legally a crackhead. You know what I mean? You're a crackhead without the crack. The buyers are trying to step up here though. That 1 hour, if it can keep that bottom wick here, if it can keep a like a long bottom wick here, then that next hour move in 10 minutes, it can play out. But it has to hold these levels. What you don't want to see though is a trap like this. This was a nasty trap. However, this happened in extended trading hours at 6 in the morning. So usually moves like this where you have these trigger candles, they don't work as well as during market open where you have more volume inside the market. It's failing to keep a nice bottom wick though. You want to see a bottom. If it can be more than 50%, that would be perfect. You use SMT divergence. SMT, all right. How I see SMT is, I understand it's a thing, people use it, but personally, how I like to read the market is more so understanding why a short is getting confidence or leverage, or why a buyer is getting confidence or leverage. So that's where I do a top and bottom, top down analysis. So I start on a higher time frame and I see what's the sentiment there. So earlier I saw that we have a bearish sentiment, being that yesterday we closed towards the lows. And then from there, I would pretty much run mental simulations to see what patterns can be formed with that in mind. So what I mentioned earlier was, okay, if we're bearish now, I'll be looking for pops to move in averages and then fades off those pops. And we got one here. being that the overall sentiment was bearish, first thing I looked for was that pop, would be that pop, right? This was a short off the moving average. That would have been a nice little scalp. But that's pretty much my strategy. Reading what the candle itself tells me. I feel like fair value gaps and SMT, they're just pretty much putting labels on what you're reading. Like you're just naming what you're reading. Doesn't really tell you why a short is getting in a position here, or why a long is getting in a position here, or where a short may be getting trapped, or where a long may be getting trapped. It doesn't necessarily tell you that, in my opinion. Maybe I haven't done enough research on it, but that's just my take on it. People do use it though, and it definitely works for some people, but I personally just need to know, where are the shorts getting trapped? Where are they entering? Where are the longs getting trapped? Where are they entering? And example of that would be, okay, there's heavy shorts in there with decent high volume on the 5 minute, a long top and wick, which means a lot of shorts got in at this level, right? They pretty much, a lot of shorts shorted off this moving average. If this next candle can get above this level, oh my goodness, I'm butchering so much of my words. If price can get above the level where these shorts entered off of this moving average, these shorts will have to stop out, right? And then when these shorts stop out, usually they place their stops at the high of this trigger candle. So when these shorts stop out, you usually get a capitulation over that high, right? So those are the type of stuff that I watch. Whereas for value gaps and stuff like that, they would probably say, okay, there's a gap here, it has to be filled. But it's not really answering why it has to be filled. You know what I mean? That's my problem with SMT. So as I mentioned before, a lot of shorts definitely got stopped out in this candle here. The high of this candle, which is like 704, plenty of shorts got stopped out here. And look how we're looking on the hourly. We're getting that bottom wick a little bit more. Does this come off of any support, or is this just, somewhat. Price did bounce off this level from back here. Let's mark this out. On a daily level, yeah, I guess we can mark it out. It bounced off of this level around here before, so I guess we can mark it out as importance. But we want to see a bottom wick build more and more as this candle closes. We want to see buyers get more confidence as this candle closes. They need to finish strong. Like, we can build up on the 1 minute, 5 minute like this, but if you can't hold these levels, then all you're gonna do is give the sellers more confidence to get in on their positions. Now let's look at order flow a little bit. So as you can see, buyers do have a way to go. They have to take out all these levels here. They have a few levels they have to take out. So yes, they're popping right now, but to look for an immediate buy, I would have to see them get over this. I would know that buyers have strength if they can get over this candle, because this is a lot of work that they have to do. Is London session good? I'll say you could definitely trade London session. The moves are much clearer. They play out more clearer. You just have to be aware of the lack of volume and liquidity. So one major order can pretty much mess up your entire day. You have to be aware of that. Now, you're going to have less institution traders trade during that time, yes. But you still have to be aware that anybody with big pockets, they can easily mess up your day. Easily. That's usually why I don't trade during extended trading hours. I try to just trade like 9:45 and beyond. Yeah, so yeah, buyers have a way to go, but let's see. Let's see what they do. MACD on the hourly is still red as of now. 4 minutes to close. Ooh. Let's see. Let's see if you have any NQ traders. Oh, we do. Oh my goodness. I'm judging. I'm judging you if you trade NQ. Nah, all right, look. Let me not judge. If you do trade NQ or have judge NQ, just give me an explanation. Try to convince me why it's a good idea to trade NQ. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll trade it. Probably not on my Express. You're bugging. I ain't trying nothing out for y'all on my Express. I love this baby. This is literally my girlfriend. I have nobody else but my Express. It's just me and her against the world, honestly. I'm not even lying to y'all. Look at me. I'm not even lying to y'all. It's just me and my Express against the world. Like, if I lose my Express, I lose myself. I would probably have to lock myself in a room for like a few... No, I'm lying. But it's that serious. I love my Express. But on a combine, maybe when I open up a combine, maybe I should open up a combine, actually. I have some fun with it. I like to have fun on my combines because my like strat pretty much in terms of like building a bunch of Express, I try to pass my combine as quick as possible so I don't have to like worry about that monthly. Because if you don't pass it, you're gonna get charged another however much you pay. If you have the 50K, 150K, I usually have my 150K. You're gonna have to pretty much pay for that 162 or they're gonna charge you again. So my goal is to just pass that as fast as I can so I can have my Express and then copy trade the rest. Let's see how we looking. All right, we looking good on the stream. Had to check the stream on my end of things. Let's just make sure we still looking good. Hey man, I'm not gonna lie though. These buyers are climbing. They trying. That hourly looking is building nicely. This will be a nice trigger if it can finish strong. 1 minute left to go. CVD is also building up. If you could get over that signal line, then the Bulls will be in control. That would be a crazy comeback on the Bulls. That would be a crazy comeback for the Bulls if they can do that. I'm looking at this. So over this zero line is pretty much like an equilibrium. So as of now, since it's below that zero line, sellers are in control. This is cumulative volume delta. So overall, sellers are in control. There are more aggressive sellers in the market. If you get above the zero lines, that would mean there are more aggressive buyers in the market, and it's steadily increasing. It has to hold this trajectory though. It has to hold that trajectory. And then it will become a trigger. Earlier, somebody was asking would I consider getting in for a long. Still no, but a trigger is forming. In 39 seconds. A lot of buyers in this wick, a lot of trap sellers in this wick. Because again, for buyers, they have to, for every buyer, there's a seller. For every seller, there's a buyer. So since this price is getting bought up, people are selling at this level as well. Trapping a lot of sellers here. Right? So now this next candle, we want to see maybe a pop. The first move should be, a drop so we can get a bottom wick and use that as momentum to get over this level of 713 and then look for 720 and so on. That's for the bull side of things. Right? So we're getting it right now. What you want to see is a drop and then a pop over 713 and so on. What you don't want to see is price literally take out this entire wick, go through the lows of 87 and continue. And why would it continue? Is because now we would have trapped buyers. You know who's trapped based on where price is. So like how we see a wick here, especially below this, what level is this? 97 level. Price is above the level that they got in at, so for now. right? So they're comfortable. If I'm long here, I'm still comfortable because price is still above my point. But once it starts getting to my point and then below my point and then breaking through my stop, eventually I have to stop out. And that would be more fuel for sellers making the move extend through the lows. And again, I do have my ascending support as well that I made from earlier. So if we're looking for a bounce too, this point touches 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So if it touches a 5th time, and it's also meeting at a previous support as well. So if it touches it another time, we can look there for a bounce as well. That's what we would have to look for. But yeah, definitely after, if you didn't get in on that first move at 9:30, which would be definitely a gamble if you got in at 9:30. If you happen to get in 9:30 and was short, you're definitely up. Was a gamble, but you're definitely up. Right? Since then, we've been ranging choppy as hell. Choppy as hell. Minor signal here. Let's see if it plays out. This is a trigger. Usually with triggers, you set a line at the top and bottom. Whichever it breaks, that's usually where it continues towards. This is on a 1 minute. Can't put too much salt on it, but that's how you would watch it. So 96 and high, well, it went to the high side, so that's where it continued. This is why we call these triggers. These are trigger candles right here. And the bigger the time frame, the stronger the trigger. Smaller time frame, obviously the weaker the trigger. So it did pop. It would have been a nice scalp. But if the buyers are not holding, then you're getting cooked. So buyers still have to hold. Break through the lows. Where do you go next? These are the levels. Definitely just broke through the lows. I felt it. This would have been an amazing short though. 712. I did mention before, yo, this is crazy too, because if you was here in that earlier live, you are my witness. You are my witness. I said if you're looking for short, what did I say to look for a bounce to? You can even replay this after this live is finished. I said 713, look for a short, because you want to short at the pops. You don't want to look for the lows and look for the breakthrough for a continuation lower. You want to look for a pop at 713 for the shorts and continuation lower. I hope somebody was here from earlier to bear witness. I definitely did say that. Because a lot of people would have looked for this short down here because it was very bearish during this time. Looking for it to go a little bit lower. But it has to breathe. It has to reload. And it reloaded a bit. Went lower. Now, does it make a lower high? A higher low? That's the next question you have to ask yourself. It's always if then. If it makes a higher low, then okay, maybe we can have a next try at 713. If it doesn't, if it can't try to make a higher low, then maybe we get a lower high, which will be bearish, and then we get through these lows, and then eventually the lows of 687. So it's a bunch of if-thens, and that's what I was mentioning before in terms of mental simulations. You want to think if-then and all possibilities of what could happen in the market. You want to be prepared for everything, pretty much. Oh, that would be a nice scalp right there. But we're not chasing moves. Oh, that would be such a nice scalp though. Right through those lows. Look at this top and wick. If it could hold like that for the next 7 seconds. Oh, it didn't really hold too much. But sellers are still getting confidence. That's crazy. They're still gaining confidence up here. Yeah, that would have been such a nice scalp, man. I seen that shit coming from a mile away. Now, it may get a minor bounce here. If it breaks straight through, that would be so bearish. Like, that's a lot of strength. But usually, you want to see a little hesitation before it goes straight through. Like, damn. Because maybe, who knows, you get a little bounce. Oh, my, wow, straight through? Are you going to hold too? That would have been a nice scalp. Oh, my goodness. Maybe I should have done that just for the stream. But, I should have done that. I would have scalped out on the ES, so I wouldn't have to stay in too long. Probably just hit it 2 ES, maybe 1. Yeah, 2 ES would have been fine. That's like what, $200 I would have made extra. My hair keep. I hate these. This thing makes my ear so itchy. I would have shorted that first pop in the 1 minute too. No faith in that 1 minute. Oh man. Shorted every damn thing. Let me see if they're still. Yeah, they're still stepping up at the bottom. These sellers. These sellers need to breathe, bro. Like, relax before y'all really get stopped out real quick. I don't think they will. They're so aggressive today. They ain't come to play. The delta is still increasing. Oh, is it decreasing? Nope, it's still increasing. Oh, now it's starting to decrease a bit. But for how long? They have so much ways to go. So much ways to go. So what I would look for now, being that this extension move happened and we made a new low, you would want to see a lower high. Probably about to this level. Sometimes we get it right at the moving average. We get a short off the moving average. But yeah, you want to look for a lower high somewhere around here. Oh, that's a nice close though. That's a nice close. Let's see if we could get this lower high. Convergence on the 1 minute as well. Oh, that's strong. Are you gonna trap them? Are the bulls gonna actually trap them? Should I have faith in the bulls? Or are they gonna get shorted at the top? Let's see what happens. Getting some hesitation. 22 seconds. This needs to finish strong if you want to look for a continuation. If this become a trigger where we get in like a little doji at the top, that's pretty bearish. It has to finish strong, close towards its high. 8 seconds to go. It's closing pretty strong. Oh, 15 minutes is building up. Again, in the bottom wick, a mean bottom wick here. Trapping a lot of sellers here. Trapping a lot of sellers here. And they would have to buy in to exit, which would be fuel for the buyers. But a lot of sellers there. Oh gosh, and we're getting a double bottom on an hourly. Two bottom tweezer top. They call this a tweezer bottom. Out of support. Oh. It's times like this. This would be an A+ setup, guys, on a higher time frame. Only thing that's not agreeing with it is the MACD. But the MACD on a higher time frame is slow. When you see this, I just want to attack it. But we'll wait. Because now this move is close to the highs. If you're looking for a long, you don't want to get in on a green candle. You want to get in on a red candle. Get the best bang for your buck. Watch Delta. The buyers are trying to get back into control again. And they're not far off from it. You want to see this go over the 0 line. When this get over the 0 line, buyers are now in control, and that would be big. That would be huge. They have to hold those levels though. If it continues that trajectory, that would have been it would have been a dip buy if it started like that, if that candle started like that. But now you're making 2 wicks at the top. Don't make a higher low. You gave buyers so much confidence. The buyers, you're right there in terms of CVD. If you can find 20K of aggressive sellers, then you guys be in control. Get over this high, you're trapping a lot of sellers. But 3 hesitations at this level, that's not pretty. Probably try to go through this level 3 times and it rejected it 3 times. It's not pretty. Because the more rejections you get, the more confidence sellers get, and the more they're going to step in. You don't want them to step in. Right now, you guys had the momentum as buyers. See? You guys had the momentum. Just break through and hold. Follow through. Then this would become a floor, 712. Well, 1275, I should say. It's not a bad close. Close toward the highs. It's setting up nicely. It is setting up really nicely where you got these tweezer bottom right here. Y'all seen this? Now, what I'm thinking, if this closes just like this, if it closes just like this, think about how the next few candles could look. We at least could test this level here. First of all, yeah, 713 right here could also be a level. That's 1325. 36 is a level. But it has to close like this. VWAP and resistance at this level, so it's a hard resistance here. I love when VWAP agrees with my lines. It's a very satisfying feeling. Nice open on the 15-minute. Wow. That's a crazy open on the 15-minute. You got a nice wick, which becomes a trigger over the high of the wick. Nah, over the high of the candle, you usually get a continuation. Yeah. Delta building up for the green side now. Buyers are right there in terms of regaining control. Well, not regaining control, but taking control, which would be an insane comeback. I'm so tempted. I'm not gonna lie. Because if they really come back, if buyers really come back from this, that would be insane. Because you guys have no idea how much aggressive sellers was in the market earlier. The sentiment is already bearish. So if they can really recover from this, see what I'm thinking, you get a signal like this, where you got the bottom wick off of support, and then you get an extension in the next candle. But what you have to watch out for, especially being that we are currently in a bearish market just a bit, you would have to look for what comes after that. So that could probably happen at VWAP. That could probably happen at 736. Just have to keep an eye on that. But for the most part, after the trigger for a scalp, you can definitely take that move. Definitely take that move for a scalp. But you just got to be quick on it. Break over the high of that doji, you in good hands. Trigger formed here. I keep telling you about these triggers. They're really powerful. This is a smaller time frame, but I love using these triggers for scalps, especially when I see them at support or resistance. Look, it came up here. Look what happens after. It came up here. Look what happens after. It's building back up, but still, right after we did had a flush through to a moving average. That's why I love these signals. My favorite. I don't trade anything else pretty much. Buyers are trying to hold this level up here though. They bounce off a moving average and try to continue high. You got a nice bottom wick here too. That's to hold that. Touching the moving average again. Are you gonna bounce off, or what we doing? It would be nice in terms of looking for a bullish continuation. If you see like a cupping action here, like where it just cups and rounds out near the resistance and then goes higher, that would be nice for the bulls. But under this low, obviously, you could see a capitulation down under 707. That tweezer bottom looks so bullish though. It's on the 30-minute. It's on the 1 hour. It's not really on the 15-minute, but oh yeah, that's a break for sure. Yeah. It tried it. It failed it. That's a break for sure. But the bulls got 10 minutes to try to make a little recovery. You just got to find a bottom somewhere and then just try to stay close to the highs up here. Try to stay close to the roof. If they can stay close to the roof, they're still in play. But once you start retracing more than 50% of this entire move here, yeah, this entire move here, that's when it's you're out of hand. But like 11 seconds to go and you got a nice push there, it would have been nice if they can hold that and close above the highs. That would have been perfect for the bulls. Because that was a nice strong push there. I'm not gonna hide. This is a minor trigger here. The wicks are a little bit too big, so that makes the risk to reward ratio off. But pretty much high and low. Set a line at the low, 704, line at the high at 711, and see which side it breaks through first. That's why we call it trigger, because you can use either side of the candle, being that it's equal. Looks like we're going to break through the top side of it. If it can hold, it has 17 seconds. If it could break through the top side, that would be bullish. You would want to see a breakthrough VWAP at 712, 741, as well as this resistance. However, if it breaks through, it has to hold above. It can't just pierce it and then not hold, because that's going to give sellers more confidence, and they're getting more confidence now. Every time it rejects this level here, the sellers are just going to keep gaining confidence. And that's where you're going to see them step up into their positions more and more. Because they're saying, oh, buyers are trying, but they can't get it. So why not step in here and take advantage of that? So that's what the sellers are looking for. So every time you see this little pop, you want to see a break and hold, or else it's just going to keep giving the sellers confidence, and you're going to see them step up. But it's so rangy today. Is it only me, or is it really choppy? Any of you guys got any trades in? Anybody traded? It's about 7-6. See how I said 7-6? Yeah, ain't catching me. Around that many people here. At least one of y'all had that trade. Oh, see? You're making... The sellers got so much confidence on that candle. If the bulls don't break over this shit and trap them, you're cooked. Because the sellers got mad confidence. I should really short that. I want to short it. I want to short it. I want to short it. I should lock this account, bro. Because I just felt my heart rate increase just now. See? Oh, I should definitely lock my account. Every time I get that, because that, you know what that is? That's FOMO cooking me right now. Which means I should be far away from my desk as possible. FOMO is beating my ass right now. You get over that, you could trap them, but until then, that's a nasty wick on a 1 minute. That's a nasty wick. Yo, don't, if you reject again, bro, I don't know what to tell y'all. Oh, that's a nice close though. That's a nice close. I ain't gonna lie. You close right at the resistance level. So all you have to do is make a bottom wick and continue higher. If you reject hard off of this shit, bro. Like, you got such a nice close. Form a bottom wick. Just form a bottom wick. You can still recover. Form a bottom. Form a bottom. Oh, I had hope. I really had hope just now. I had hope for y'all. That was such a nice close for the Bulls. And y'all just blew it out the water. And it's because they kept giving the shorts so much confidence. They couldn't. All you had to do was break that level. That's all you had to do. You had one job. Don't look for a pop now. Because people are shorting that move heavy. And I should be one of them. I should really be one of them. But I'm not. I hate this. I hate Fridays. Consumer sentiment is now near all-time low. Yep. I mean, I already told my chat that, so market watch, you a little late to the party. Yo, imagine I misclicked just now and it shorted me just... Yo, bro, I gotta change where that notification pops up. Yeah, this is getting shorted bad. Oh my goodness, should I scalp it, guys? Nah. Back up. I know it's going lower. I know it's going lower. I know it is. I knew it is. And I could have scalped it really quick. I didn't even have to be in there too long. That's the crazy... I'm getting cooked. I'm getting cooked with the motion right now, guys. That's why I'm not trading. I'm getting cooked with the motion right now. It might even go lower than that. Who knows? Every time I see the pop at the start of a candle, I just know it's gonna make a nice top wick, and you can make easy money off of that. This is your second chance. You could have done it, but you're not gonna do it. Why? Because we have good discipline. We're practicing good discipline. Even though I can see price literally pushing it down more and more. I see it. Okay. Whew. Sometimes it feels better when the move doesn't work out how you think it's gonna go. Oh my goodness. I would have got so much FOMO from that. Now I feel a little bit better about not getting into that trade. Yo, I'm this close to locking this account, and I might as well. Because it's 10:30. It's choppy as hell. Oh my goodness. That felt so much better now. What you gonna do, Bias? You gonna stop him out now? You gonna break through? What you wanna do? 64% long? What y'all wanna do? Damn, that really would have been a nice scalp though. It came right up to 705, made a low of 699. That would have been a nice quick short. This is a signal. Smaller time frame, but it's definitely a signal. I'm seeing it again, but this is definitely a signal. Long type of why? Like, how much time is it gonna reject off of this? What's at this level? Why it's rejecting like that? Like, I see that I have my resistance and VWAP here, but it's really struggling. How do we look on the 5-minute side of things? 5-minute is kind of staircasing up though. If you can get over these highs, then okay, the bulls can be in control. But they really struggling, and I want to take advantage of that struggle. That's the fucked up part about like trading. Like, you really taking advantage of other people's struggles and losses. They call it zero-sum game. Anybody here play chess? Any chess players? Any chess players in the chat? If you don't, I suggest that you learn, because it actually helps with trading a lot. Chess and poker. 2 games I would recommend learning how to play is chess and poker. With chess, it helps you make good decisions with time pressure. Not even good decisions. It teaches you how to make the best decisions. Like, if you out of 2 choices, making the best choice out of the 2 under time pressure. Poker, that definitely teaches you risk management. You have to know when to fold your hand. You have to know when to up the ante, all of that. So 2 games I would definitely recommend, chess and poker for sure. But you have to play poker the right way. Don't play poker to gamble. Yo, that's short as hell. Wow. How many times are you guys gonna reject like this though? Oh gosh, I wanna play it. Every time I see this, like, because this is like second nature. Like, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, I wouldn't even be thinking about it. I would just stab it. I would just take the trade. But because it's Friday, that's where the fight continues. Like, y'all watching me battle Psyche in real time right now. That's how real these streams be, y'all. Y'all seeing all of it. This is the struggles of trading, fighting with yourself, with your mind. That would have been a nice short though, for real. Don't. Me and my intrusive thoughts are fighting so bad right now. I'm gonna give y'all content. Y'all gonna see a crash out today. If one of y'all tell me to trade, I'll trade. Because y'all know nobody likes to chat. But if one of y'all come out of nowhere and tell me to trade, I'll trade. Nah, I take it back. 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 I'm lying. 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 Because then I'll actually have to. And then if I take one loss, spiral. I don't think I'll take a loss though. Just saying. I don't think I'll take a loss. Hmm. Let's read some delta. Got a nasty 15-minute close though. That doesn't look pretty for the Bulls. It's just giving them more work to do. They're right there in terms of getting control, the buyers. The buyers are right there in terms of getting control. All they have to do is get over this line. However, they keep putting the obstacles in front of themselves when they push price so high, but then can't hold the level that they push to. Because then you're forming a resistance level every time you do that. Every time you reject, you're making the sellers gain confidence to keep entering their positions at that same level. They're just going to keep rinsing and repeating. Like, it's struggling really badly over 713. But tell you what though, the same way buyers should have been like took the opportunity to recover, the shorts also had plenty of opportunities to go lower as well, because they was really aggressive into the open. And for the amount of aggressiveness I've seen, they didn't really go that much lower. So now the question could be, is the market finding a bottom a little bit here? Even if it's temporary, you still have to question, are we finding a bottom here? Hmm. This is a low to watch at 98. Oof, what a close. That feeling is coming again. Where you could just see price pushing. Mm. Mm. We're conquering our intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are nothing to us. We don't need to fret. Y'all go make money for me. It's alright. Y'all making money on my behalf. That's all that matters. Nice short. Crazy close. Strong close. To know what a strong close is, if price close nearest highs or nearest lows, in this case is closing nearest lows, that shows a strong close. Everything you're looking at is 1 minute, so again, take that with a grain of salt. But I like to commentate on the 1 minute because it's more action, and I like to commentate like we watch an NBA. You know what I mean? It's kind of fun like that. Because all of this is battles between bulls and shorts, so why not commentate like that? We watching a fight pretty much. Now the Bulls are getting their ass kicked, but they're right at the goal line. That's the crazy part. Like, they're right at the goal line in terms of taking control. But every time they get to the goal line, it fades. It just can't, like, can't secure the goal. Now, we had a nice tweezer bottom on the 1 hour, 23 minutes to go on it. The more bottom wicks we get, the more bullish it is. But if in 23 minutes, price gets back towards the low, like let's say it gets back to 687, that's nasty. That would be nasty. And very mean. And I would not stand for it. I'm going to defend you guys. I'm going to speak to whoever the whales are, and I'm going to defend you guys. But this is an area to watch because a lot of buying support here. High demand area. So if we sell through that level, that's not pretty. You want to see 2 bottom wicks. Did y'all see? I drew something. Can y'all see it? I don't know what it is, but I drew it. And I don't know how to draw. But this looks pretty decent to me. Kind of like it. And if y'all don't like it, that's okay because I like it. And that's all that matters. Look at that short. Yeah. That's nasty. And now 1 minute, this candle right here. That's nasty. So disgusting. Damn, buyers. I really just gonna fade like that? I mean, if you form a higher low, then okay. Man, you could do something if you form a higher low. But if you just keep going, damn, bro, please. Let's look at overall on the 1 minute how much we've done. Broke through one level. It's pretty wide. This is a pretty wide range, though. I'm still pushing towards the lows, too. Still pushing towards the lows. Sellers are they're not really getting in too much at the lows. I guess they're losing confidence at this level here. I want to see it pick up a bit. I want to see delta increase for shorts continuing. Level to watch here is at 687. That's a very important level. Because as I was mentioning before, it's 20 minutes to go. And we are already making back up that wick. We're taking back that move where we had 2 bottom wicks here. That would have been beautiful if we could have closed like that with 2 bottom wicks. But we don't really get that because the sellers are slowly taking back their wick. They're beating the brakes off the bulls right now and taking back their wick. So if it goes through the low of the previous hourly, that would be bearish. Obviously. So we do not want to see that if you're a bull. The sellers are aggressive for good reason, though. We already have bearish sentiment overall in the market. It's Friday. Usually we have profit taken on Fridays into the weekend. So it makes sense why we are seeing so much heavy selling and why they're giving the bulls such a hard time to continue higher or even make a recovery about continue higher. Like, they pretty much only gave them, can we count this as an opportunity? I guess, let's give it to them as an opportunity. They only gave them 2 opportunities to recover. This could be a third one forming, but it's not time yet, so we can't tell. But so far, from what it's looking like, these sellers just keep eating up away this wick. Look, it was right there. Look how look at the wick touching the 0 line. The buyers are right there in terms of gaining control. It was right there, and then the seller's like, "Nope, got you." That's so mean and rude of the sellers to do such a thing. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And then y'all wanna go lower on top of that? Let's see if there's any hesitation here or if it could just go straight through. Sellers are picking up though at this level. Oh, slowing. Let's see. 4 seconds to go on this candle on this 1 minute. Let's see if you get a straight breakthrough or if you get another bounce. Sellers are stepping up to the plate though. Damn, we might get a breakthrough. But they still have to hold that level with the sellers. Can't just pierce it and then, you feel me? Same thing that's true for the bulls is the same thing that's true for the bears. You don't want to pierce it and can't hold because that will give the bulls some confidence in that side. But the sellers keep stepping up here, so it doesn't seem like they're too scared. "15 seconds is still hesitation. A lot of hesitation here. Even though the sellers are aggressive, there's a lot of hesitation here. Yeah. So much like I saw so much aggressive sellers stepping up and the price wasn't going lower. But it's just temporary. You probably have to reload before they try to test it and break through again. There's so much sellers. They was stepping up, but couldn't go through. Is it gonna be on this candle where you have a top and wick? If you could have a nice top and wick, then maybe. How do we look on the daily? Oh, on the daily we're getting close to that ascendant support that we made from earlier. Getting close to that level. So you also could keep that in mind for a bounce as well. What are you gonna do? Break through the floor? If we break through the floor, where do we go next? Oh my goodness. Look how far. Oh my goodness. I have no lines for that. We're just gonna have to form it as the price forms. There's no other choice that we have. We're just gonna have to form it as price forms. We have no, after this point, look how much levels we went through. We use all these levels up here. Because I usually don't delete my lines. We went through all these levels, broke down through all these levels. And the last one we have is this ascending support at 642. Shit. So if we break through this level, it's a potential that we could go to 642. No way. No way, bro. I'm calling bullshit on that. We're going to find, so probably let's assume we stop at a mid-level point. I don't even want to just put that there and just make a line just because it's in the middle of these 2 lines. I need data. So you're just going to see how price plays out pretty much. It would have been fun to play this short though. Because this was definitely the original plan. Short the pop. If the overall day is bearish, we could have short the pop. But I'm not too eager to jump in on trades for Fridays. So that's okay. Hopefully we get setups like this on Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday. Why did I say it like that? Tuesday, Thursday, and Wednesday. Why did I say it like that? That was so weird. Why not Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Why did I just mix it up like that? I promise you I'm not dyslexic, but that was definitely a mental gap right there. So sellers are running away back with control again, which is crazy. And NBA terms, pretty much first, second, third quarter. No, let's say first and second quarter. And no, yeah, first, second, and third quarter. Golden State is beating. Let me not use Golden State. Yeah, let's use Golden State. First, second, and third quarter, Golden State is up probably by like 100, right? And then fourth quarter comes, and then the Lakers bring the score back to where it's within 20 points. Not even the 20 points. 10 points, right? And then right after the Lakers just brought it back up to 10 points, like in terms of the difference, Golden State blew them out again for the rest of the fourth quarter. That's pretty much what just happened. So Golden State was already busting ass, already in control. Lakers started making a comeback right here. And as soon as the Lakers started making a comeback, Golden State said, nah. Yeah, I don't know what you thought this was, but probably next year, next trading session. That's pretty much what this was. Are we getting... Oh, we do got a signal here too. I love... You see how much these signals played out? How many times did we see this signal so far today? Where we get that long wick after an extension, and then the immediate pop, the immediate green right after that candle for a scalp. How many times do we see this? That's why I like them on, because on bigger time frames they play out so much better. That's why I love playing them on major time frames. YouTube's updating. Yeah. Friday for you guys, man. Pretty much just gotta see what happens at that ascendant support now. Oh, that's what happened. Oh, I was wondering why. I think it does it do that like frequently, because I think that happened before. I wonder what happens. This will tell us like if we really pop it though, because if they flood back in, that would be crazy. Because we had like 6 for like a hot minute. It's like 6 or 7. Like 6 or 7 or so. I don't wonder if it's a YouTube thing or if it was a me thing, like OBS. unk is crazy. But it's okay because we are nearing closing time. Let me see. I mean, I'm testing it on my phone. It looks good here, but it's okay because I'm more than likely gonna close up soon anyway, since it's not much moves in the market to commentate on, and people have lives as well, so I know they're probably gonna be asleep. But I'll wait till 11 o'clock. See what happens at 11, and at 11 I'll just close it down. Decent amount of people came in though. 40 views so far.
Order filled.
I might as well close up. Yeah, ain't nobody here.